Hodgson, Ainscough is back. O'Loughlin and Lamb the skipper. Up front, O'Connor, Mark Smith, no Terry Newton, that's a blow. Craig Smith, Danny Tickle, Johnson and Nick Graham, the new man on loan from Cronulla till the end of the season. And on the bench, Sculthorpe, Briscoe, Hock, he is fit to return as well. And young Kevin Brown, who captured all of our hearts here 2 weeks ago, and particularly that of his coach, Stuart Raper. Now the Bulls, their Challenge Cup final winning lineup. Robbie Paul at fullback, the captain. Vicona, Naylor, Harpy and Vainicolo. Price operating alongside Deacon. The forwards, Vanganar, Lowes and Gartner, Peacock, Radford and Forshaw. And the substitutes, Anderson, Gilmore, Parker and Richard Moore. The only change from last Saturday. He's in for Carl Pratt, who has a few teeth loosened apparently, and coaches Brian Noble.
There, of course, Stuart Raper would have told his charges, make sure that you turn this Bradford side around and around and around. They've got to try to run Bradford off their feet. They know that they will probably run out of gas in the last 15 minutes. Wigan have got to make sure they've got enough points on the board.
Brian Carney's good defensive tackling here by Hoppe and also by the big forwards, Shontaine Harpy, one of the new stars of the show, of course, for the Bradford Bulls. But here come Wigan, and there's a gap immediately for Johnson, and he's got support, and wide it is to Ainscough, and Ainscough will get in. He has outstripped Vicona for pace, and Wigan off to a glorious start. Jamie Ainscough marking his return to action. He has missed the last four, and Ainscough gives Wigan the perfect dream start. 42 seconds, that's all, and Wigan off and running.
Well, I said the tactics had to be to run them off the beach, and boy oh boy, Wigan have started. Get the ball out wide, throw the dummy, Leon Price and Withers. They will not, Naylor should have said, will not like that at all. And Ainscough, he had all the speed in the world, wonderful combination. Spin the ball out wide, that's what it's all about. Hodgson make the break, then the beautiful pass there to the young kid. Ainscough's right there. They're not going to stop him. What a start. Whoa. Well, we talk about the momentum, but it looked to me as though it stopped. It looked perhaps that he didn't go across the advantage line that we often talk about, but it was okay as far as the official Ian Smith was concerned. Whoa. It's cold here, but the Wigan fans, they've warmed up pretty quickly. And it just showed you there, Eddie, that this Bradford outfit, they were struggling to get back. That has been one of their features over the past couple of years, is their ability to get back and get in the tackle. They failed.
Once the break was made, Ainscough was in support, and he celebrates his comeback to the side with the opening try. What a start from Wigan, and can Danny Tickle add the extras? No, he's pulled it the wrong side of the posts. Not the night for precision kicking, but Wigan ahead 4-0.
We see quite clearly there, Naylor and Price, they've got it. They should have had him down. And it was wonderful offloading here. Talk about concentration. Little bit of doubt, perhaps, in the final pass. But no one is arguing if you're a Wigan fan. But a controversy to start with in the first 40 seconds.
Well, that has given Wigan a lift, and can Bradford hold them back now? Forshaw and Harpy again with the tackling there on Terry O'Connor, and once again Brian Carney. It's almost a carbon copy of the opening minute of this match, and they will come right again with Craig Smith. Smith struggling to his feet, plays the ball to Mark Smith. Stuart Raper, almost 200 games now as a Super League coach for him. Here is O'Connor, 10 metres inside his own half, trapped by 3. Brian Noble is opposite number, won here 18-4 on the opening night of last year. Big kick downfield here by Sean O'Loughlin. And that will, I think, skim off this very wet surface, which it does. And Wigan form the line right across the field, 10 metres away from where James Lowe's restarts. Gives it to Leslie Vinacolo. I must say that is a very natty hairstyle.
Speak for yourself.
Shontaine Harpy again.
I would imagine it's pretty easy to tackle him from that angle.
This is Deacon. Vangenaar, great hit. Number 28 in there, Nick Graham.
Getting back to the hairstyle, Eddie, I just get it. I mean, it's like playing with a suitcase with so many handles. It's easy to get him down.
Hit the line! Hit the line! Hold!
He must feel comfortable.
Lowe's from dummy half wide to Vinacolo. The referee had no doubt. He shouted, "That's okay, play on." It's the last
You
one.
were square before. Good job he didn't go.
Lowe's, Deacon on halfway, jinked his way around one. Kick towards the corner. The try scorer Ainscough will pick this up. Good chase led by Leon Price and Jamie Peacock. Here is Radlinski.
Hold me, hold here.
Good tackling by Leon Price. Well, this is the way it looks head-to-head over the years. Wigan with 32 victories, Bradford with 24. In Wigan, either here or at Central Park, it's been Wigan's advantage over the years, but very, very tight in Super League during the summer era. Nothing really to choose between these two sides. O'Connor with another good drive in, and a penalty because Leon Price had another snap at him.
You're underneath and you've had another pull.
Yeah, just had a second bite of the cherry there.
Went the other way.
And I think early on you get the feeling that this Bradford outfit are trying to just slow things down.
Hold me, Scott.
Scintillating opening by Wigan. Combination there was superb.
Craig Smith.
They do not want to go down the middle. Wigan, they've got to keep it wide all the time.
Well, this is a wide field, the JJB Stadium.
Hold me.
Big pitch. Chance for Wigan to run Bradford off the legs if there is any suggestion of fatigue after the efforts of last weekend. And it's Wigan who are in possession with O'Connor, who got the penalty. And now it's Adrian Lamb. Johnson with the drive in. And Mark Smith waits at dummy half. Finds his full-back Radlinski, and over the head of O'Loughlin, and it went backwards, and he's lucky to get away with that. He dabs the ball towards the corner. Robbie Paul has picked up. Good chase by Wigan. Paul got out of trouble there, found Vinacolo.
I'm not so sure Vinacolo was too impressed at getting that football. Should have taken the tackle, should the full-back Robbie Paul. Put himself in a good position. You can see the chase was excellent. That was a huge gamble, especially in these wet conditions.
Wigan piling in. St Helens are 4 up at Halifax after just 10 minutes. And a big kick downfield by James Lowe's. He went for the 40-20, but it's just short.
Ooh.
Yes, Wigan's head and feet.
Only just as well. Well, we said how important the kicking game would be. James Lowe's wonderful exponent in that department. Just didn't get the right kick and the right angle. Such an important player to the Bulls. There was a massive groan when, of course, he came off in that final last Saturday. They hung on, but he's such an influential player for the side.
Well, the Bulls were beaten at St Helens on the opening night, you may remember. I think you've probably watched that on Sky Sports. Since then, they're unbeaten. And this is Shontaine Harpy. And he's lost it. The ball that went backwards, did it? First one, it went forward.
2 on 1, and it's not impressing the coach, Brian Noble. And I think he's got a claim here. And that was reefed out. Pulling at the ball.
No, that's never reefed away, Steve-O.
Well, you mean the arm there from Craig Smith wasn't moving, is that what you're saying? Bang.
Well, look where he's looking. He's not pulling away at the ball, is he?
No, he dominated it.
Yeah, well.
Welcome back, by the way.
Obviously, you've missed me.
No, you can play for that, Craig.
Here is O'Loughlin. They're trying to get it wide, and they are getting it wide. Aspinwall wide. It goes again to Carney. Carney cuts in field. That's good, Harry. Oh, and he releases the pass back. Radlinski flings a wild one in field, and it's with Nick Graham now.
3 movements.
Well, I think Wigan are going to try and run Bradford off their feet if they can.
They've got to.
Trying to offload at every opportunity. Here's O'Connor.
Hold back.
Remember, Eddie, this is the first 10 minutes. And Bradford looking tired already.
And they've had to do some work in the tackling, haven't they? And that's Vicona, and he carries it out over his own dead ball line. Great kick from Adrian Lamb.
Precision. Got a bad bounce, but there was never going to be any doubt. Well, Stuart Raper, so far, has got the tactics right.
It's amazing, though, Steve-O, isn't it, the way one result against St Helens has lifted everybody around this ground, lifted the players, and more importantly, has lifted the coach.
Yeah, he was a bit down. I must say, he was a guest about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and he certainly didn't look the Stuart Raper that we've seen of old. They went through a bad period. Of course, the injuries wouldn't have helped.
Oh, he's had a shocking run. But he's gradually getting them back now. And
to be fair,
the great men like Terry O'Connor are still there for him.
There was a few of the Wigan crowd and a few in the Wigan town that more or less is suggesting that he was under threat to be sacked.
Nonsense.
I know.
Lamb. Good ball. Graham. Good hit. Robbie Paul.
Well, he didn't take the dummy that time, did the fullback Robbie Paul. Remember, it was Graham that set up that first try. It was a beautiful short pass that put Johnson through.
Craig Smith is 10 metres away. Mark Smith, the dummy half. O'Connor with the drive forward. O'Connor spinning and still going. Haul down eventually. Knock on. Might be one of those nights, you know.
Well, the referee in Smith is talking to the players, and this dominating in the tackle is the expression that they use down under. It has slowly but surely crept its way into this game this season, and that's the reason why that new rule was included, that if you're dominating the tackle, if you do knock it on, it's play on.
Well, I don't know about all that, but this 8-panel ball that is being used in rugby league these days, when it is a night like this, it can get very, very slippery. Phil, what do you think?
Yeah, that's what all the players seem to be telling us, isn't it, when they have to play in these conditions. But, you know, the other thing about these conditions, really, is that field position is ever more important. You know, you have to play as long as you can, as close to your opponent's goal line. But it's not a night for long passes, it's a short pass, and very often the turn ball back inside that will really make it. I think the first try we saw from Wigan really is an exception in these conditions. It's very rare that you'll see a team with the weather and the rain pouring down being able to score from inside their own half. But a good defence from Wigan there now, forced a mistake from Bradford. And I've no doubt that Wigan are very keen to start as quickly as they can, try and dishearten this Bradford side before they can run out any tiredness from the legs.
And James Lowes was seen there questioning the decision of referee Russell Smith. There's an early kick, and it's one for Radlinski to chase. Vainicolo's after it and does well, and Vicona took the fullback out also. Here is Vainicolo now.
Well, they're eager. You've got to say that. This young Wigan side, great tactics. Okay, he came up with a football, and it was good work by the Volcano.
Is that legal, though, from Vicona? He wasn't contesting the ball, was he? He just guarded and nudged with... I mean, shoulder charge is all right when you're chasing the ball. Penalty now. Penalty now for Bradford.
Well, got a little overexcited there, did the Warriors, at a time when they really wanted to just pen Bradford down in their own quarter. This is the incident. Well, he certainly went for him, but...
He was taken out.
Yep. Now, you've got to be running in the same direction to use the shoulder.
And contesting the ball.
Of course, and he failed to do that. That should have been a penalty, without doubt.
Vanganar for Bradford.
Should have been a gift 2 points for the Warriors.
We're watching the second best attack after 6 rounds. Only St Helens have scored more than the Bradford Bulls. Defensively, both sides have had their problems this year. Bulls conceding an average of 22 points per game. But Robbie Paul, twinkle toes, good ball as well to Deacon. Hits almost immediately though. Good tackle by Mark Smith.
Good play by the fullback Robbie Paul, but there's a big mistake there.
Well, this ball does have question marks hanging over it whenever the conditions are like this.
Well, it was helped along its way, wasn't it? And that's the reason. But it was one-on-one, so he can't complain to the official. There's going to be plenty of this. And the last thing that Bradford want is for it to be backwards and forwards and keeping the ball. They're trying hard.
Movement! Hold with me! Hold!
They're trying to just slow things down, try to get back into this match. That's good defence.
Movement!
It is good defence. First try, remember, 42 seconds. Nearly 14 minutes later, and it's still 4-0 to the Wigan Warriors, who are in possession here with Mark Smith. Now Terry O'Connor.
You've added 2 seconds. It was 40 before.
42 seconds.
You said 40. It'll be a minute before we go in half-time.
Oh, it's great to have you back. Craig Smith.
What
great run.
Oh, the crowd's warming to this, and so are the Warriors here.
Last tackle, and Wigan running it. Lamb with the kick. That bounced off Vanganar, and that will be the turnover. He didn't make a play for the ball.
Ball played the man, as the official has got it right. This is wonderful start, isn't it, by Wigan? Full of confidence. And most important, a lot of enthusiasm there. There's no way in the world that Vanganar went for the ball. In fact, he went for the man.
Hold your fire, guys. Sorry.
Well, it's all action.
Yes.
Stuart Raper quite happy with the 4-point lead.
This is Vaikona now.
Well, he must be a little bit peeved over that incident where it should have been a penalty. It would have been a gift, 2 points.
Harpe almost through. I mentioned it's a feast of rugby league on Sky Sports this weekend, emphasising that now. In the morning, Sky Sports 2, Melbourne Storm and Newcastle Knights.
Oh, how has he allowed that to go on?
Well, he has, and this is Ainsko. Oh, and that was a sliding challenge. It's a drop out from underneath the sticks. Ainsko saying he was having the shirt pulled off him.
Never mind that. What about the knock-on? They got away with that one. And then they get away with the segment. There was one before then.
That was a defensive tackle that a footballer would be proud of, though, from Jamie Peacock.
Look at Peacock. He's obviously hanging on to the shirt, but... Oh.
Looking for a try with Man United, Jamie Peacock.
Well, that was real Roy Keane, wasn't it?
Time off.
He knew exactly what he was doing, but there was 2 suspect knock-ons in that passage of play.
Well, he allowed Wigan the advantage, didn't he? And they're now underneath the post, Bradford.
Stay behind, guys. Time back on.
Deacons drop out to the halfway. Brian Carney, the Irish international, will run the ball back, and Bradford a little slow in getting up.
Quick play the ball, that's what they need.
And there it is. And here is Craig Smith. Sunday morning, by the way, St George Illawarra Dragons and Cronulla Sharks. From where...
He's lost it.
He has. From where Nick Graham came, the Cronulla Sharks, not Craig Smith. Well, I think Sean McRae coined the phrase knock-on-a-thon on Sky Sports not long ago.
This came out of the top hat. This was magician time, wasn't it? Hello, where did that come from? He'll be happy. Doesn't look it at the moment, but he knows his side has been put under a lot of pressure. It's been all Wigan. Very few occasions that the Bulls have been in the Wigan red attacking zone.
Trying to get there now with Daniel Gartner. Was a prop in the cup final as well as he is tonight. And here is Jamie Peacock, who was absolutely immense in Cardiff.
Superb. Just kept going.
Lows his dummy half. Misses out Vanganar, finds Deacon. Good ball back on the inside. That's Radford. And here now is Rob Parker.
Kick's got to be good. Deacon's there. Oh, he's made a real hash of it.
And Wigan have got it back. Sean O'Loughlin dropping on it gratefully on halfway. And here now is Craig Smith.
Well, mistakes are plenty by the Bradford side, but it's still only 4-0.
Nick Graham with a run down the blind side. David Hodgson at dummy half. Infield it goes. That was a poor ball from Johnson, and that was well claimed by Paul Deacon.
Put his body on the line, got a kick on the head. Not surprising the way he just threw there. Little knock on, and Forshaw is not happy. and neither is Deacon. Maybe he just wasn't 100% when he was playing that ball.
Mick Forshaw, of course, former Wigan player, doesn't want to make mistakes coming back home.
Just a little one, they all count. That was it.
Or was it? I think that was why he was furious, because he didn't think it was a knock-on.
No, it was a knock-on, eh?
My voice, you're in. Come on, Mike.
Half an inch.
Let's update you with the scores. Half an hour gone. Saints are 10 up at Halifax. And Leeds 4-2 against Wakefield. Here it's 4-0. Craig Smith. Good tackle on him by Rob Parker.
Big problems though in this Bradford defence. Some are moving forward, others are not. That's great defence there. Peacock and Anderson, but there's quite a few just hanging back. Some are coming out of the line.
This is Lamb. Just trying to drop the shoulder and bamboozle them. But Radford wouldn't be fooled then. Now they give it some width. Graham, it goes on to Craig Smith. And Craig Smith, oh, he looked over his shoulder, wanted to offload, and then did offload, but knocked on.
No second phase of attack there. It was a good opportunity. He's worked hard as a prop forward, Craig Smith. Where are you? Where are you? That's what he was saying. Tickle was just sniffing around to his defence now. I mentioned before the kick-off that Danny Tickle against St Helens. Oh, the miles offside. Getting back to Tickle. He's taken a while to settle into the Wigan outfit, hasn't he? No doubt in the mind of the official, Ian Smith. Take a pick. Pick a box or take the key. Remember that one?
Yeah, I used to watch it sitting on my dad's knee. Who was the quiz master?
Huey Green, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. It was Michael Miles. Now I've done it.
I knew you'd fall for that one.
30 metres away, Lowe's jinking his way only into the tackle of Craig Smith.
This is where the forwards have to really stack up now.
Deacon and Price, and back to Robbie Paul. Gave it to Naylor. Oh, he was almost through. Graham did well, and so too did Adrian Lamb. Vicona waits at dummy half. Graham gingerly getting to his feet, kicked through by Leon Price. Difficult ball to take. But Deacon on to Sean O'Loughlin like a shot. Well, Bradford looked as though they'd encroached offside out wide then.
Good kick. He did well, sliding down. Well, they've weathered the storm, haven't they, the Bulls at the moment. Now it's Wigan's turn to have the rack twisted.
But it's a war of attrition, this, isn't it? In these conditions, it's a real problem for both sets of players. Remember when we were last here, glorious blue skies, Good Friday, and Wigan and St Helens serving up a treat. Now, as I say, Winter's return and Madlinski's kick straight down the throat of Robbie Paul, who's lost it.
Went
backwards to play on.
Phil, I just get the impression that Wigan, with their initial onslaught, keeping this ball alive, they're being sucked into a forward battle. They don't need that, do they?
No, they don't really, but their enthusiasm is really what's been so impressive, really, if you think, considering the game as well. On Good Friday, the second half performance against St Helens was absolutely awesome, and they've continued with that sort of enthusiasm in this game. Just imagine at this stage, the team that makes the least number of mistakes will probably go on to win the game, but hanging on to the ball is so difficult. If you look there at the moment, the tackles that the Bradford side have had to do, Mike Forshaw, very impressive, but that work rate from a side who we imagine are tired from the Challenge Cup final will certainly take its toll in the second half. And in fact, it's where Bradford have traditionally been strong over the last few years that I think they've been least impressive this year. They lost Brian McDermott, Stuart Fielding's out injured, Joe Vangan has been playing with a hamstring injury, and it's in those front row powerful players that they failed to dominate their opponents, and at the moment Wigan are winning that battle.
I don't know whether you noticed that Nick Graham was also leading the way in the tackling for Wigan, and this of course is Nick Graham's debut. He only arrived this week from Australia.
He's shown it well, both in attack and defence.
And there he is again, and that's a good ball wide, and Hodgson trying to jink his way inside, and Jamie Peacock scrabbed him to the ground. Last tackle, Lamb has to get the kick in and does, gives it plenty of air. And Robbie Paul, easy for him, but then he lost his footing, and here now is Vinacolo.
Well, we often see that Vainikolo comes in to help, coming in on the wing, but I get the impression, Eddie, that he runs and then he stops to take the ball. Maybe he's still has a bit of problem with that, not standing square at the play the ball. Mr. O'Connor says, "Want me, sir? I think you've got it wrong." The official said, "I got it right." Yeah, getting back to Vainikolo, he runs with a lot of speed, and then when he gets the ball, he sort of hesitates.
Natty, though, isn't it? Now then, a drive in again from Parker. He's featured in all 11 so far for Bradford, and 10 of those off the bench. Ball has come free again. There's a Bradford man down.
It's Deacon. He tried to go underneath Terry O'Connor, and O'Connor just smashed him. Deacon slowly getting back to the line of defence. He's walking out onto the left-hand side. That's it. It was a big hit in the shoulder charge from O'Connor. This is warming up. Graham.
Hauled down by Anderson. Mark Smith. He gets the penalty.
And you've had another little push.
Well, Nick Graham, showing all his experience here.
Better take out that one, because he could have gone that way.
He milked it and got it, and then said, "Thanks, Anderson." Not so sure he'll reciprocate.
Stuart Raper full of praise for this fellow. Good player, he said. Be a very welcome addition to the side, and so it's proved to be. And by the way, talking about a welcome addition, have a look at the way Wigan have got this ball now in deep in Bradford territory, courtesy of the boot of Bradlinski. This is a great opportunity for them, and Mark Smith ambles into dummy half. It's Adrian Lamb. They go wide. O'Loughlin, good ball back on the inside. This is Tickle again.
Lamb screaming for the ball. He knows it has to go out wide to the left.
Lamb gets it, showed it to O'Connor, gave it in field to Graham. He pops the ball back. It nearly opened up. Paul Johnson, and there's another penalty.
Jimmy Lowe.
Oh, it's a penalty against. I was going to say.
Jimmy Lowe.
I thought for a moment he was giving it against Wigan, but he gave it against Bradford. Lowe's all over the place in the ruck.
Well, he came across the position where the man was going to play the ball, and he's having a real old chin wag. There you see. Going to move away quicker than that. Well, they may be smiling at the moment, but Ian Smith, and they're going for the 2 points, and rightly so. It's midway through this first half.
Well, the referee was just telling Robbie Paul why the penalty was given then. Well, Stuart Raper immediately sending the message out, we'll have the 2 if we can.
Yeah.
Carl Pratt on the far side of your screen there, just missing this match because of dental problems. Could have played, but Brian Noble anxious to look after the young man's health. Here's Tickle then. 6th consecutive appearance in the second row. A try and 4 goals against St Helens here on Good Friday. Did you notice, by the way, Steve-O, last weekend how impressive the goal kickers were, but the roof was on. Not one missed. One spurned late on.
Sadly. I'm sure the Leeds fans will take it to their hearts, Eddie, for reminding them.
Tickle with this attempt. 2 more points to Wigan. Missed with his first kick. On the mark with the second. 6-0.
Well, a just reward, but will it be sufficient? Maybe Stuart Raper, the Wigan coach, would have anticipated a little bit more on the scoreboard. He doesn't look too confident as yet, and so often in games like this, we suggest that one side late in the match might fall apart. We thought that about Wigan and the youngsters when they took on St Helens a fortnight ago. What to be?
O'Connor driving it in again.
Big responsibility on the shoulders of this fella playing the ball.
Carney. Brian Carney. He's lost in his last 6 meetings against Bradford Bulls. Graham gets the ball away. Johnson playing in the second row. This is his 100th Super League appearance, by the way, for Paul Johnson. Lamb to O'Connor. O'Connor will drive it in again, but he stood his ground well. James Lowes, last tackle here. Mark Smith and O'Loughlin with the kick, and Robbie Paul having to move a bit to get this. Does so on the bounce.
Been pretty good as a kick and chase from Wigan. They've dissected the fullback and the winger on 4 occasions so far in this first half.
Offside again. Wigan too keen to get off the mark. David Hodgson the culprit this time.
Well, they've got to use a little bit more brain power here. Stuart Raper knows that 6-0, it's not sufficient. And they get into a good position. Oh, he's trying to get that. No, was he in midair? No, the touch judge said. Interesting, this one. If he comes from the field of play and dives out and knocks it back, which I think he does, it's hard to say. And on the way, that should have been all right. That was wonderful play by Redlinski, and that really should have been play on. Well, they haven't had much rub of the green so far of Wigan.
This is Deacon, and here is Forshaw, and he offloads to Lowes, who gives it then to Robbie Paul, who gives it back to Deacon. Deacon trying to straighten things up. Lowes the dummy half. Robbie Paul, a stab towards the in-goal area. Carney doing well, and Lee Gilmore all over him.
Did very well there, did the Irishman, because that bobbled so badly at the final moment. Here the Wigan crowd trying to influence the official Ian Smith that it's Bradford that are well and truly offside. Well, I must say, Ian Smith has started to take him back to 10. Certainly struggled in the opening 15 minutes. Having all sorts of problems getting them back the required distance.
Here's O'Connor. That's a good run from the prop forward. 12-0, St Helens up against Halifax at half-time. The kick downfield, and 4-4 at Headingley, Leeds and Wakefield.
Again, good kick and chase. These are wonderful tactics. I think that Stuart Raper would feel a lot better if they could just pinch another try in these last 8.5 minutes of the half.
Well, Wigan, of course, they kept St Helens scoreless in the second half here on Good Friday. What are we now? Over half an hour of this match without Bradford piercing the defence. Good statistic for coach Stuart Raper. That was Parker who played the ball. This is Leon Price. Now it's Paul Anderson. Last tackle here for Bradford. Good defence again from Wigan. Lowes, though, will go down the short side. Punch the kick over the top and aiming it towards the corner. Oh, it's a great kick. And he did well. Radlinski did so well then.
See the tired legs there. The kick was superb from Lowes, but I'm afraid the chase wasn't all that brilliant.
Radlinski was under pressure, though, and he managed to get the ball back.
It's understandable. Well, a few of the Bradford side must be feeling the efforts from the cup final last Saturday.
Well, they must be feeling the pinch, mustn't they?
Yeah, and this is surprising, as I posed the question to Clarkey, is that Wigan, well, they started getting this ball plenty of air, and now they've just gone into their shell a little bit. Phil, I'm still not too impressed with Wigan to say that they've had so much possession. Would you feel that Stuart Raper would be pleased at half-time?
I think we'll be pleased with their patience, which is what you need in these sort of conditions. Well, I'm sure he would have been happy with a few more points, because, as people will be aware, this Bradford side have been awesome in their second half performances this season. On average, they've won by about 24 points to 6. They've dominated their opponents that convincingly. And if one thinks back to the Challenge Cup final last week, Bradford's ability to score just before and just after half-time was probably what clinched that cup for them. Bradford seem to be wanting to do that here again tonight.
Vinacola to his feet. Lowes. Here is Leon Price. Away from Graham, gets the ball to Naylor. Naylor cuts in field. Oh, it was a bit of a lazy arm then from Johnson. Finished off though by Craig Smith and Nick Graham. It's the last tackle here for Bradford with Deacon. He'll hoist the kick out wide. Alan Harpy's pretty big, but Carney is big in heart. But it's a decision for the referee, and Harpy has got the nod there.
He thinks it stopped. He thought the tackle was completed, did Brian Carney. But in these conditions, we'll see, he's moving, he's moving, he's moving, he's moving. That's a good call from the official.
And the ball carrying arm did not touch the deck.
Well, it's a wonderful play, wasn't it? Fontaine Hoppy. Talented player, there is little doubt.
Now then, here's an opportunity for the Bradford Bulls with Forshaw and Deacon on the run around. Leon Price has a hole there. It's quickly closed though by Sean O'Loughlin and Chris Radlinski. Now Harpy again, trying to bring the ball in centre field, which he does. They're bang underneath the Wigan sticks. Plenty of tackles in the bank here with Lowe's, who finds Peacock. And the Wigan scrambling defence so far standing firm. 3 of this set of 6 gone. Lowe's again, attacking the line. Back it goes to Deacon. Deacon then wide it goes to Forshaw. Forshaw hauled to the ground by Lamb.
Lamb's tackle was superb. They're shooting the short line.
They are with Lowe's. Great harassing again by Lamb.
Touch of obstruction there. Ian Smith says play on. It was Lamb that got across yet again.
Terrific scrambling defence. Can they stand firm? They can.
Take your pick. That'll be the turnover. Well, I don't think Brian Noble expected anything spectacular from his side tonight.
He was up for it though, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I know he was up for it. It's a bit different when you go out in the paddock, and he's got the dropsy at the moment, Paul Deacon. But you keep saying about this ball, Eddie.
Yes, the 8-panel ball has come in for some criticism from the players.
So if it rains, go back to the old one. Can't believe it, you've agreed with me.
Kick downfield, Price underneath it.
That's the first bad one. Right down the throat there of the standoff Leon Price. Every other kick in this half, they've dissected the 2 players.
Here's Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul. Great run from the Bradford skipper. Oh, the pass though. Oh, there's a mistake.
They'll play the knock on from Wigan. This will be Bradford's head and ball. There's no forward passes as the official is concerned.
Well, he's just upset about 10,000 Wiganers.
Good break though, Robbie Paul. Slowly but surely coming into this game. Was going backwards. You see it here. Great stepping run. And back on the inside. Ooh, on that angle, maybe not.
Here's the man who put the pass in that was adjudged not to have drifted forward, Robbie Paul. It's been a great effort from Nick Graham in this first half.
He's impressed me, Eddie.
And he managed to get another tackle in then on Scott Naylor.
And he's been confident. He's quite often been sharing the first receiver role with the captain, Adrian Lamb. Maybe just take a little bit of responsibility away from Adrian Lamb.
Oh, that's a great ball to Forshaw, who in turn found Price. The Wigan crowd are getting on the back of the referee. Here is Peacock. There's a kick. It hit one, hit the other, then bounced its way out and over the sideline, head and feet to Wigan, and ironic cheers from the Wigan faithful. And a smile from Dean Bell as Brian Noble gets to his feet to go down to the dressing room.
Well, this is the reason why Jamie Peacock is not on the list of kicking at the Bradford Bulls camp. And I think Mr. Noble will have just a little word in his ear and say, we have men out there who are near perfectionists in that department.
This is Danny Tickle again. We saw Brian Carney leave the field and Bill's got all the news.
Eddie, I'm surprised that Brian Carney is the only casualty of what's been a ferocious first half out there, but he's got a cut above his eye. He really is a brave warrior, is Brian Carney.
He is. And Ian Smith has just given Wigan a penalty that they've now deposited deep inside Bradford territory. So an opportunity here to get that elusive second try. First one coming in the 42nd second.
Come on.
And now they're looking to post another just before half-time, but they won't win that.
Bad mistake. Mark Smith was not expecting the offload, and he knows how important that was. He wanted another try. See that his namesake offloads, and he just took his eye off the football. Lack of concentration, and you just throw away the opportunity. Bradford will be quite happy to go in at the break. Only 6 points in arrears.
Well, they might look to go in even better than that with this set of 6, because they have an opportunity here. And this is Lee Gilmore. He's away from Graham, can't get away from Mark Smith or Danny Tickle. Graham coming back in again. Forshaw skipping away. Enveloped by 2, Tickle and Craig Smith.
Just run out the set of 6. Good kick and chase. They know they'll be in the sheds.
Robbie Paul. Still Robbie Paul. He's looked dangerous since he's moved forward from full back.
Certainly has, and quite a few of the Wigan players going far too high on him as well.
Lowe's with a kick down the line. Ainscough not interested, will allow that to bounce over. And so with 5 seconds remaining, there'll be no time for this scrum to be formed. Leon Price is on his way off the field already. That's the reason why. There's the half-time siren. Well, scrappy, but in these conditions you cannot expect much else. The ball must be like a bar of soap. Wigan with a blistering start. The try from Jamie Ainscough. Then the Danny Tickle penalty after 27 minutes, 6-0. And that's the way it is at half-time. A point now in 80 minutes of rugby league on this ground. Tickle gets us underway again. Skims into the arms eventually of Price, and here comes Anderson to drive that ball forward once more. Play the ball to Lowe's and Robbie Paul. Paul looking very busy in that first half. Lowe's again scoops the ball into the arms of Forshaw. I think Stuart Raper will be as pleased with the 0 alongside Bradford's name, Steve-O, as the 6 points alongside his own team's name. It's been an impressive defensive effort from them for the last 80 minutes of rugby league that we've watched on this ground.
Certainly have, and well done to the youngsters yet again. Maybe that enthusiasm that's been shown in the first 40 has been to let down the Warriors side, mainly due to the fact they've given away some silly penalties when they've seemed to have Bradford penned down. And I'm sure that Stuart Raper would have made mention of that. But I think Bradford will try to make it a real tough encounter here. They don't want to be running and chasing the football, that's for sure. Wigan, of course, they have the tactics that they've got to employ.
This is Craig Smith driving it over the halfway line. Namesake Marto, and Craig Smith is hurt here. And the referee will stop the clock and allow Craig Smith either to be treated or for the ball to be given to another player and the ball taken. Let's quickly go downstairs while there is this break to Drowned Rat number 2. Bill, what's happened in the dressing rooms?
Not quite as drowned as Phil, which is really pleasing in actual fact, because normally it's me that gets the wettest of the two of us. Stuart Raper is pretty delighted with the performance of his side in these atrocious conditions, and he's really just hoping that they can stick to what they did in the first half, which is try and maintain some control of this ball, and that is the key for both coaches in actual fact. It's who adapts to these conditions the best.
Gilmore just took Sean O'Loughlin out then. O'Loughlin dabbed the ball forward, was chasing his old kick, and then Gilmore shoots out the arm, pulls him back, and Anderson was after him as well.
Well, it was Anderson that took him out. You can only use your shoulder charge when you're going in the same direction. He's the man that's being deemed, but he was the real culprit.
Steve, I've just noticed that Craig Smith has been helped off the field after that injury over on the far side. There he is. Let's go down to Bill, who's not far away from him.
Yeah, it looks like an ankle injury for Craig Smith, and he has had a storming game for Wigan. They will really miss him. But and coach Stuart Raper will be disheartened to see that problem from one of his real go-forward players. Brian Noble's words as he emerged from half-time was, well, if we can keep hold of the ball, we might get somewhere, and that is his main concern, that if they can get some control, then they can cause Wigan problems. But at the moment, the boot is on the other foot. It's the boot of Danny Tickle that matters just now for Wigan.
Indeed so. He's, about 37, 38 metres away. Just about in centre field, but on a night like this, and despite the excellent drainage there is here at the JJB Stadium, it's a cloggy night for goal kickers. As the non-kicking foot hits the deck, it will slide.
And that's why he's taking his time. Danny Tickle. Getting back to that incident where Craig Smith had to leave the field. It's an amazing thing, Eddie. For all the years in rugby league that I've been involved, if someone gets really hurt, they don't move, they just sit down.
Indeed so. Craig Smith on the sideline now and watching this as Tickle lines up this latest penalty attempt. These could be 2 precious points. And he's kicked them. 8-0. Wigan inching further ahead, and Craig Smith in ice, his ankle. This is the incident that led up to his disappearance, or he was pushed back over a grounded Bradford player by Paul Anderson.
Well, you mentioned the ankle area. I think that was a knee problem. It looked as though it was twisted in the tackle. Little doubt with the prop forward that he was injured.
Terry O'Connor's had a massive influence on this match for Wigan so far. He's back out there.
He always gets through a lot of work. I think that we'll see Nick Graham and Adrian Lamb come into play a lot more than we saw in the first half. That's a good offload, though.
It is to O'Loughlin. The ball was knocked out.
Play on.
Play on.
Well, they stopped there. Mark Smith said, oh, well, we'll get a penalty here. It was dragged out, no doubt about it. Shontaine Huppy was the man. They've got away with it.
And that should really have been a knock-on, but here is Anderson for Bradford. They're 20 metres away. Lowe's, and here's Peacock. Peacock surrounded. Eventually takes the tackle from Sculthorpe and from O'Connor. Lowe's again. And that's helped forward, and that will be play on. Wigan have it back. Tried to get the ball away, but it was one of those ball and all tackles.
It was good work, wasn't it? He took a step there, did the hooker James Lowe's. And that is a sin. Oh, he's lost it. Well,
knock on by Aspinwall, who shakes his head.
Well, I don't know where he got that one from. He must have bobbled it as he was regaining his feet to play the ball. Let's have a look here. Yep.
Spot on, Ian Smith.
Yep. Got a big game. The official.
22-0 St Helens leading Halifax at the Shea. And still the same, just into the second half at Headingley, 12-4.
I think I'm correct in saying that Ian Smith's off to Moscow tomorrow, isn't he?
Yes. -4, I think.
-4 what?
-4 the temperature.
Oh, I thought you were going to say minus fingers or something.
They're underneath the posts. Bradford with Lowe's, who finds Anderson. Anderson trying to drive his way forward. Mark Smith and O'Loughlin, important tackle. Can they keep Bradford out here? Deacon, wide it goes to Leon Price. Leon Price will slide home. Yeah. Momentum takes him there. Referee and touch judge have a word.
He'll give this.
They'll give it maybe after the video referee is consulted. And tonight's video referee is David Campbell. Touch judge said it just might have bobbled.
I think he's got it there. He looks to me to have full control of it. Bradlinski tried to jag it down. I think he's. I think this will be given. I wouldn't put my house on it, but I think this will be given. No, that's all right. That's fine. That's TRY for mine, and I think it'll come up.
David Campbell says, try. Bradford are back in it.
Good work from the forwards. Laid the platform for that. And Leon Price Working out wide in the centres. Beautiful pass. The combination of the hooker and the nice step. That was excellent play. So much quality is this fella. Quite often he goes into his shell, but when you produce something like that, it's well worth it. Step back on the inside, David Hodgson.
Well, good response from Bradford after that early penalty. Edged Wigan 8 points clear. Price, now then Deacon, and this young man is currently the best kicker in Super League, 29 goals. And it stays at 29 goals. 8-4. Nothing in this. Nothing in it whatsoever.
Superb lift. Maybe it could be the kick up the backside that Wigan needed. I mentioned at half-time, Eddie, that Wigan cannot just hang on in the hope that Bradford will tire. We often think that, as I mentioned in the first half, but you cannot afford to just rest on your laurels. A lot of hard work to come if they want the 2 points here.
Scott Naylor picks up for Bradford. Of course, another former Wigan player, Naylor. He began his career here. 2 appearances in 1991. This is Vicona, meanwhile. The ball's lost. And a knock on. Johnson with another important tackle. Vicona looks bemused.
Was there a hand in it? Yeah, there was. Certainly looked it for mine. Watch the hand go in. Yeah, that's dragging away, and you can see the Wigan hand. The hooker Mark Smith had hold of him. That's the reason why he's disappointed with the decision.
This is Aspinwall now. Robbie Paul wrestles him to the ground. Sean O'Loughlin at dummy half. Here is Danny Tickle. Straight down a cul-de-sac there, filled by black jerseys. Mark Smith, 10 metres away, dummy half. Danny Sculthorpe. Good tackle by Robbie Paul.
Was it ever?
Mark Smith will come this way. Tickle. Another good challenge, this time by Forshaw. Headed out by Gilmore.
Lamb streaming for it to the left, he's got it.
He has, and Lamb will attack the line, dabs the kick in too deep.
Brudlinski knew exactly where it was going to go, but as Eddie has just mentioned, a little bit too much power. Papua New Guinea and Adrian Lamb. Good tactics though, but just a little bit too strong.
Craig Smith helped off in this second half. Bill with the news.
Has Wigan's injury jinx struck again? Craig Smith, the latest victim, and it sounds like it's a knee injury in actual fact for the big Kiwi prop. And sitting just behind Craig Smith is Brian Carney, now sporting a scrum cap, and that plaster underneath on his forehead, you see, conceals a nasty eye gash with 15 stitches in it. But Carney is determined apparently to come back on.
Well, they're brave, the stars of Super League, there's no doubt about that. And this is Naylor, and that was a good tackle by O'Connor.
Tannaby as well, neat little inside offload there from Leon Price. He seems to be getting back into this game.
Great kick from Deacon, it's a hanging kick this. Briscoe is underneath it.
What a take. What a take from the youngster.
Here comes Jamie Ainscough.
Important that Bradford don't give away a silly penalty now and get back to the official. We saw on several occasions in that first half Wigan got Bradford on the rack, only to let them go basically by just getting out of the blocks a little bit too early.
Here is O'Connor again. 26-0 St Helens, 10 minutes to go at Halifax. 12 all at Headingley. Wakefield, the visitors. Robbie Paul fumbles it backwards. Great chase. Led by Aspinwall. Here is Vainicolo. He attracts 4 cherry and white jerseys to him every time he gets the ball.
Could have been a flop there from Dennis Sculthorpe, but you can see how eager this Wigan side is. The youngsters are piling in, but they've got to make sure they're behind the official.
Could be a significant night at the top of the table tonight if Leeds fail to beat Wakefield and Bradford lose here. Another Wigan player on the deck. Leon Price with a kick over the top, looking for a 40-20 here. Great kick too. Oh, could so easily have been a 40-20, but Ainscough got a hand to it and kept the ball in the field of play.
How cool is this? He'd no idea whether it was going to bounce one way or the other. He thought he was beaten.
Oh. I think we all did. Hodgson with Gilmore all over him. What a battle royal this is, Phil. Not pretty, but boy, someone's got to be courageous to win this one.
Yeah, you just think the way that the Wigan side are moving at the moment, I just think they've just got too much in the tank for the Bradford team, although they are a champion team. And with players like Jimmy Lowes here, just putting pressure on Adrian Lamb. Do you know, he's a fantastic player. He reminds me so much of Roy Keane at Manchester United. If any of his teammates just slack off or don't do what he thinks is the right thing, he doesn't have to give it to them. And it's certainly kept his side at the top of rugby league in the last 5 or 6 years. And they need him now and Robin Paul just to inspire this Bradford side, because Wigan, they just can sense another 2 points and don't want to let it go.
Typical hooker, Phil.
Yeah, he is. And
plenty of mouth.
He's been a pretty good hooker too for them, hasn't he? Over the successful period, he's been an ever-present, as has Robbie Paul over the last 5 or 6 years. Wigan during that period had Sean Edwards when they were so successful as an ever-present, and Bradford have relied on James Lowes and Robbie Paul to be the driving force to lift so many trophies.
Another attempt at a 40-20 from Deacon. Yes, Bradford will miss James Lowes. This is his last season, he has said, in the top flight. And they will have to find somebody from somewhere to replace him.
Well, I must say Carl Pratt filled in very, very well for him in the Challenge Cup final last Saturday. But there'll be plenty of rumours before this season is out in regards to who Brian Noble will go for. And
yes, O'Connor again, what a run from the prop forward. And there is somebody down for Bradford, I think it's Deacon. And this is Lamb with a chip over the top, but that was well watched in the end by Rob Parker. Deacon groggily making his way back, and now he stops again. He's taken another heavy bang on the head, I think.
That's the third one today. Well, the physio wants to make sure. This is a run from O'Connor. Bang! Used the elbow right into the chest. Would have been a foul, of course, if he went over the shoulders, but it was okay.
And this is Richard Moore now, isn't it? Yes, it is. He plays the ball, but I don't know whether he played that correctly. This is Lowes. Well, harassed down and chased down by Gareth Hock. Last tackle here, Deacon. Deacon slides the kick through. Briscoe eventually gets to the ball with his hands.
Poor play there by Bradford. They really shouldn't have had the responsibility of kicking there from Paul Deacon, who just received a heavy knock. You've got to think as a unit, and he was put under the pressure there. Certainly was groggy.
Here's O'Connor again. Wigan crowd getting on the back of the referee and Smith this evening. Oh, a mistake from Lamb.
And it's things like that in these conditions that can just turn the game around. You could see there he'd taken his eye off the football. He knew exactly what he was going to do with it. Trouble is, he got the shopping trolley and all the fruit fell out.
Yes, Steve-O is back. And the shopping trolley has come with him. O'Connor just taking a little mouthful of water just to recharge the batteries.
If you must know, Eddie, I do all my own shopping, okay? And it's those wire basket things with wheels on. Not that you'd know.
I thought you were the modern man. I thought you did the internet shopping. Penalty, meanwhile. Hock all over the top. Second effort. Bradford will take the 2 on offer here.
And rightly so. They want to slow things down. No doubt about it.
Robbie Paul
wanted to get on with it.
He did, and Gareth Hock just had a second pull at him. Well, Brian Noble, he doesn't look too impressed, but I'm sure he is with the effort that his players are putting in. He's had a touch of a virus this week as well himself, the Bradford coach.
He looked at me over the weekend and
he felt quite well, did he?
No, it's as good as though that I'd passed it on to him.
Well, Deacon, this is again long-range penalty attempt.
Good option as well. Clock still just ticking away.
Danny Tickle scored with a similar one from similar range from Wigan up the other end. Start of this second half. Here's Deacon's chance to put Bradford back to within 2. Oh, it's hit the post. First to react, Adrian Lamb. Here's Radlinski.
Just shows you the importance of making sure that your 3 lines of defence at the kick. A lot of teams often go too far back. Not enough numbers there to take the rebound.
Yes, because if that would have bounced back to Bradford and they'd have scored the try, it would have stood. O'Connor appealing to the referee that he was fouled then. Sculthorpe driving it in again.
Good tackle by Peacock. Oh, they're really putting it on the line now.
Yes, Bradford sensed something here. They've upped the tempo. Richard Moore's harassing them down. O'Loughlin with the kick downfield.
He did well to get so much distance.
Shontaine Harpy picks up 20 metres from his own line. Briscoe there. So too Aspinwall. Great tackle on the big fella. Robbie Paul to Vito Vicona. Bradford have upped the ante. Ball's thrown free. Wigan have it back. Brian Noble holds his head in his hands. Wigan with an opportunity here. Gareth
high. And Hock caught it there. Peacock didn't miss.
O'Connor. Mark Smith waits. On the charge forward is Danny Sculthorpe. Great drive in. 3 tackles gone, 3 left. Adrian Lamb. Lamb wide, good hands. This is Tickle.
So close there, Lowe's got to him.
Aspinwall dummy half, Lamb again, the kick to the corner. A tester for Vicona. Missed by everybody.
I'm not so sure that Vicona was interested in taking that. He was more intent in just taking the man away from it, making sure that there was no opportunity. Yeah, you can see there.
He did, he looked at Hodgson and jumped at him.
Yep, didn't want to know that ball at all. That could have been a penalty. In fact, that should have been a penalty. He took the man out.
Yes, David Hodgson was going for the ball and Vicona just had a little look at him and jumped at the Wigan centre.
Not sure that Vanicola, this is it. Watch the winger, bang, he just went for the man.
Well, it worked.
Sure did, Hodgson was peeved.
Happy again.
Pretty difficult for the referee Ian Smith. This is where they have to rely on the merry flag wave at Eddie.
Gartner wrestled to the ground.
And surely the touch judge would have seen that.
Lowe's to Deacon. Deacon with the kick. That's flicked off the back of a Wigan player. It's all on. Ainscoe had shuttled in off the wing. Now Ainscoe! Almost through. Good job that Gilmore was there.
Nice step as well. Slowed down. Just held off him slightly.
Here's David Hodgson again. Well, what a battle this has been between these two sides.
Certainly has, and the big question now that everyone will be asking, has the petrol dripped away?
Well,
can Bradford hang on?
We're approaching the last quarter of the match as O'Connor drives it in again.
Quicker play the balls, the Wigan, they need it.
Lamb. O'Loughlin taking it to the line. Radlinski chipping it over the top.
Boy.
It was straight into the arms of Robbie Paul. He will lead the counter-attack. Robbie Paul having a good game tonight.
Certainly is. He tracked back well, did Radlinski, but he knew it was a bad kick.
Here's Vicona. He's a match winner for Bradford in the making.
You know, it amazes me when you're in attacking position how many sides will elect on wet conditions to keep the ball in the air. Put the damn thing on the turf. It'll skid all over the joint.
Deacon. And he
40-20.
hoofs it downfield. No. It's a great chase though. Look at Vainicolo. Briscoe does well. And they'll have the dropout underneath the posts, Wigan. He would have settled for that, Briscoe. And so would he, Brian Noble.
Well, he's only a young kid, Briscoe. But he has a very, very experienced head on the shoulders. See how he kept looking there, made sure, put his body in between the onrushing traffic and the football. There was never going to be a chance for a try.
Two big lads as well, Shontaine Harpy, former junior Kiwi, and Leslie Vinacolo, the New Zealand international, bearing down on him.
Great talent though, young Briscoe. Any youngster watching Eddie, that was a perfect example of how to shield the ball. Even if it had just popped out, it would have gone backwards.
Chance for Bradford here though.
Wouldn't have been a knock-on.
Gartner takes the tackle. 3 metres in from the touchline. Oh, it's a mile forward to Harpy. From Harpy to Wagner, surely.
Well, the officials have missed so many tonight.
Well, that was a metre forward. Here is Gilmore. There'll be heck to play here if they score.
Never mind heck. Well, that's a metre forward, isn't it? Overrun the ball.
This is Peacock.
They're getting a roll on. They've got the power in the forwards. Everyone knows that.
Lowe's. Here is Leon Price. Over the top and helped out wide. Vinacolo's in. Vinacolo with the try. What a last pass. The try is given. But for my money, Bradford, there was a forward pass in the build-up to this. Not the flick pass out wide to Vinacolo, but the earlier one from Harpy inside. Watch this. Well, if that's not forward, I don't know what is.
I agree with you. It should have been a scrum down. They took the gamble. What a pass from Deacon.
It was a punch, wasn't it? Just punched the ball wide. Whoosh.
Oh, this is volleyball time.
There's nothing wrong with that, but there is a huge question mark about the earlier one.
Well, you won't get better than this little pass. Beach volleyball, famous in Australia. They're the world champions, Olympic champions. But I tell you what, the way Paul Deacon did that, and he didn't have a bikini on.
Leslie Vinacolo. 3 consecutive games that he scored a try for the Bulls, and he's 24 on Sunday. That's an early birthday present. And Deacon now, well, he hasn't kicked one yet. This is the time. It's 8-all, and this to give Bradford the lead for the first time. Deacon has missed his third kick. 8 apiece. All on at the JJB Stadium.
Well, Lady Luck, he's shot on this fella, and I'm afraid it's deserted Stuart Raper.
It'll be interesting to hear Stuart Raper's post-match comments if Bradford go on to win this.
Well, it certainly has been a week for forward passes, hasn't it?
Alleged. Yep, forward passes. Here is Vicona. Wigan level with Bradford at 8-all. Remember, we had that epic 12-all here in June 2000 between these two. It hasn't been an epic tonight. It's been a classic of a different side. It's been
tough.
A battle.
Yeah.
Rough, tough. Phil, you agree?
Just how you like it. We predicted it on Boots and All on Wednesday that there'd be another thriller. It's certainly been that. Do you know, during a game of rugby league, there are times when you're in control and dominating your opponents, and there are times when they're doing that to you.
Sorry, Phil, that's a 40-20 from James Lowe's.
I'm not so sure. I think he had his foot over. He's going to check it. Jimmy thinks he's got it. I am not so sure. I think he stepped over the mark.
Oof.
Whoa, it's a close one. It's the non-kicking foot.
This will tell us.
How close? Well, not so sure. What a decision this is going to be.
I think he's got it. I think he was on the line.
Fraction.
That's our view. It's not the view of David Campbell. This is the view of David Campbell.
Head and feed, Bradford.
Yes. What a kick from Lowe's.
Well, I made the point, if this guy would stay out the full 80, remember he got a shocking back injury last weekend.
Well, he didn't do 50 minutes in the cup final, but this is the Super League, and it produces superhuman effort, and that's what Lowe's has just come up with. And here now is Lee Radford, who gives it to Lowe's, who gives it to Gartner, and Gartner
Should have let it go. He went for glory, did the Aussie. They had the numbers out wide onto the left there.
Look at Lowe's at dummy half, scheming. Leon Price. Back it goes to Deacon. Deacon is collared by Sean O'Loughlin.
Will they go for the one-pointer?
Lowe's has come this way. Shantaine Harpay loses it. Did it go backwards? Lowe's is after it. He's touched down. This is another one. Now then.
Well, it was like basketball, wasn't it? Shantaine Happy took the pass from Lowe's on the short blind side. Through the dummy. Not so sure the Wigan man was stood square. No, that's a knock-on. That'll be a knock-on against Bradford. This will be no try. I'll be very, very surprised.
Well, the referee, to be fair to him, was in a great position, but was watching the ball. He wasn't watching this.
Is it knocked? No, I don't think it is. I think Shantaine Happy just loses it.
Well, David Campbell has got an almighty decision to make.
Was it lodged? Oh, now then. Did Aspinwall's arm hit it? It's play on there, and if they go to see if he grounded it okay, it bobbled around. Is the arm coming round? I think it is.
Well,
that's play on.
Well, I don't think so.
Well, neither do I, but I'm not the video referee.
Well, what does David Campbell say? And Wigan breathe a sigh of relief, and James Lowe's just had a little smile then.
Well, they do say, don't they, the ball-carrying man has to have a little bit of the benefit of the doubt.
Well, and the benefit of the doubt now goes to the attacking side.
Yeah.
But on that case, I think it was clear he lost it. Oh!
It's a knock-on.
Well, it's play on, isn't it?
It should be.
You just lost it, Martin.
He lost it after the tackle was completed. Martin Aspinwall with a blunder. Yeah, he lost it as he's getting up to play the ball.
Either way, Bradford will get possession.
Nick, Eddie May.
Well, what a turnaround.
Bradford could nick a very important victory here. This is Robbie Paul hunted down by Sean O'Loughlin. Scott Naylor waits at dummy half, and Naylor takes the initiative himself.
They'll go for power, Bradford.
Will they not look for the 1 point?
Well, I would be.
Not yet though. Deacon, Wangenaar.
There's still plenty of time.
Tackle's not completed. He offloads. This is Radford, and Wigan are dropping off the tackles.
No one's screaming for it for the 1 point. Yes, Deacon is.
Lowe's though. Price. Back it comes to Deacon. Deacon will slide the kick in. Robbie Paul's hunting it. And it's the boot of Ainscough that hoiks it in to Rosed. Calmest man in Wigan, Brian Noble.
I'm not so sure. He knows that they're on the roll. Good work, though, by the winger Ainscough. But what a kick from Paul Deacon. It looked for a moment he was going to go for it, but he was being tracked down, and the big boot, the left boot from this fella. Oh, it's tingling now.
Match still has to be won, and it could go either way, but at the moment the wind is at Bradford's back, and they're coming home with a wet sail.
Well, the forwards are taking control.
Stuart Raper knows there's a little crisis on here for his team. It's with Deacon, and here's Radford again. Good tackle by Sean O'Loughlin, that. Lowe's waits, dummy half again. Brings it infield. Gilmore almost through.
One more drive and surely they'll go for it.
Deacon is there, they might go early. No, Deacon's going wide. Still going wide, Deacon. They get him down eventually with Hodgson, Vicona, Leon Price, Robbie Paul. Robbie Paul just applying the brakes, showed it to Gilmore, gave it to Gartner to Harpay. Good scrambling defence by Wigan again. Last one. Now then, where is it? They're going down the short side. Naylor, straight into the arms of the Wigan man. And Johnson standing absolutely firm.
Great work from Johnson, playing in the second row. He could have been pushed into the touchline there, Oh, I can't believe, though, that Bradford and Brian Noble, their coach, didn't send the message out there and say, hey, come on, fellas. When you get an opportunity like that, get the 1 point.
Here's O'Loughlin. It goes wide.
Lost it.
Hodgson. This is Vicona. Still. And Brian Carney is on bravely. 15 stitches, Bill reported, in a cut on the top of his head. But he's out there. And there he is, the Irish international. Price. Harpy again.
I bet they don't make the second mistake. Surely Brian Noble would have sent out the message. Just pile towards those sticks.
Well, they've got to get through this resolute Wigan defence, and Gareth Hock, now that they're in centre field, but they're 30 metres away. Lowe's will give it to Gilmore. And Gilmore looking to get through again, but O'Connor hunting him. Flick pass though away to Radford. Great tackle again by Gareth Hock. Lowe's forward pass, that one.
He got that one right. And Jimmy is far from impressed. Neither is his coach. But
the Wigan crowd is.
Official has got it right.
Well, that shows you why you cannot go for a forward pass to the video referee. And look at his arms. Look at James Lowe's hands there, Steve-O.
Yep.
And I think he's behind him there.
Yep. He's not impressed, is he?
Well, I don't think it was a forward pass.
No, you're right. But it makes up for a few both sides have got away with. And it is difficult for the officials because all the sides now, they play this very flat.
Absolutely.
Attack.
Really
you know,
flat.
They take the step forward. I'll tell you what, Phil, it's amazing how this Bradford side could just hang on. And they fought their way back. It's been a wonderful effort from them. You've got to give them credit.
You do, and at the moment Wigan did their job of hanging on the ropes, although here they come with it. I'll just hang on a second.
Indeed, because it's with Hodgson. Wide it goes to Ainstow. Back in field it comes. And that was an important tackle there by Bradford on Gareth Hock. This is Mark Smith. We're on the last tackle. Drop goal. Oh! Well, it was a goal from round, but it was under the sticks. That was a Wigan Athletic special.
No net there. Well, he got the right idea. He just didn't execute it.
Well, Wigan Athletic are champions of the second division. Adrian Lamb wants a contract with them next year. Well, they had the first opportunity for one point there. So close. Clarkie, back to you.
I just want to go back to that point where you said the forward pass to Jimmy Peacock. It annoys me so much in this country. Whenever a player hits it on the advantage line, we all shout forward because we're so... it's such a strange thing when it happens, but anyway...
Lowe's!
Forget me.
Lowe's! Oh, brilliant from Lamb!
He really shouldn't have offloaded. It was wonderful work from the hooker. Possession is vital. Why on earth he went for the fancy is beyond me. It doesn't matter how you win a game, by 100 or 1, you still get the 2 points.
Penalty.
Not standing square.
Penalty to Wigan.
It's a long way out. I think they'll punch this into the corner.
Well, is history about to repeat itself as we watch why the penalty's given for not standing square at the play of the ball? Last time Bradford won the cup in 2000, they drew their next match 8-all. 8-all it was at Hull the last time Bradford won the cup. It's 8-all here now. Stuart Raper, I don't think, agrees with this decision to go for 2. Danny Tickle is just over the halfway line. Remember when we were at Valley Parade?
Yep.
Paul Deacon, it was in the last minute, to be fair, and a much shorter pitch than this. He won the match for Bradford that night. Now Danny Tickle with the opportunity. Not to win it, but to edge them ahead.
Yeah, quick thinking there as well by the Bradford side, who made it very much aware to the referee Ian Smith that, hey, come on, they're messing around, and that's why he's stopped the clock, and he's already given Danny Tickle a bit of a tickle and says, come on, come on.
Do you think Stuart Raper agreed with the decision?
No. We saw him point to the corner, and I think that's what they would have done. All they have to do is then drive into the sticks. It's just over the halfway line. It's wet conditions. You keep talking about the non-kicking foot.
Yes.
If it just slips half an inch, quarter of an inch, I would be banging this ball into the corner.
But hey, corner to the corner. That was what he was saying. Kick it out.
Yep.
And the players have taken this decision on their own heads. And, well, look, hero or villain?
My word.
A la 6 days ago.
And will he make it dead in goal even if he misses it to make sure they get the ball back? I'm not so sure.
This is an absolutely crucial moment of this match. The ball's fallen off the kicking tee just to add to the tension.
Well, his message is going down from all angles now. If he misses this, both coaches will be saying just the 1 point. I know I keep harping on about this field goal situation, but I think they would have been better served to have got position.
Well, let's see. That's it. Centre field has fallen off the tee again, and the referee's going to ask someone to hold it here if there's any more of this.
Well, there's not much wind within this large stadium, but what little there is blowing into the face of the kicker, Danny Tickle. And it'll be going through his mind, say, well, look, I've got to make sure it goes dead in goal, even if I miss it. So he's confident he can get the distance.
Now then, is this the moment for Danny Tickle and Wigan? Composes himself, breathes deeply. Here it comes. It's on its way. He's missed it. It ducked underneath the bar.
That was the problem I was talking about. Could he get the distance?
Well, he got the direction.
No doubt about that, just dipped underneath that crossbar. The fans are trying to lift their charges now. Stuart Raper, he'll be ruining the fact that Adrian Lamb, who's the captain, overruled his coach. That could have been costly. Well, it may well be costly.
Here's Robbie Paul, and here is Deacon, and wide it goes to Vinacolo. They have the man on the overlap. It was Harpy. Great tackle by young Martin Aspinwall.
Kept his cool there, Vinacolo. Realised he was pretty close to the touchline.
Deacon with the hammering kick downfield. It's skimmed into the arms of Ainstow. Now, can Ainstow get round the first couple of attackers? No.
Still time for another twist in this story. Both sides out on their feet. Remember, Wigan have had a fortnight's rest. Bradford had the grueling Challenge Cup final last Saturday.
Terry O'Connor, been a hero for Wigan tonight. Quick play the ball, that's what's needed. Here is Tickle. Tickle's done well also. Good tackle there by Deacon and Harpy on him. Here's O'Connor once more. Ever the willing worker. Last tackle. Now then, 1 point.
He's got to go for it.
Sean O'Loughlin.
It's wide.
Viewed wide. Goes dead.
Well, he had to take the chance. It was on the last. It wasn't the best pass, was it? Gave himself room. Took a step there to the right.
Now Wigan will hunt the mistake from Bradford. Lowe's. Wide it goes to Naylor. Naylor has cut one man round his waist. It was Mark Smith. O'Connor coming over the top. This is to Vita Vicona. Good tackle again, low down by Lamb. Vinacolo being used now as a 7th forward. Great ball to Gilmore.
Good defence there. Super work from Paul Johnson. He's had a big game.
Lowe's, Anderson to drive it in.
This is
Now then, it's the last. It's going to be a long-range effort from... No, Lowe's takes it on. A dab over the top. Price has picked it up, and Price scores under the sticks. Second try for Leon Price. Wigan were waiting for the drop goal, and Price has scored the try. The price is right for Bradford Bulls. Stuart Raper's furious. Bradford Bulls look like they've pinched the win.
Wonderful effort by the hooker Jimmy Lowe's. They all held back. They thought they were going for the one. Price knew exactly where it was going. How many times has this guy rescued the Bulls? He even went for the penalty. He even tried everything, every trick in the book. But Price said, don't worry, Jimmy, I'm on the way to the try line. What a wonderful effort. This is what it means to the coach. He's after the double. Silverware on the sideboard in Bradford already. He wants the big one, though. He wants to walk off Old Trafford with the glittering trophy.
Amazing try from Leon Price. 11 tries in 11 appearances this year for the Bulls. That from Deacon will probably seal it. 14 points to 8. And for the first time tonight, Bradford take the lead, and we have just a minute or two remaining. Unbelievable. What an effort from the Bulls. What a fantastic effort from the Bradford Bulls to come here and win in Wigan's backyard. And I think it will be a victory now.
Tremendous effort. And you know, Eddie, in such a tight game like this, so many mistakes. But I've got to say that Jimmy Lowe's yet again has become the hero. Wait a minute, Wigan's got the ball from the kick-off.
Yes, shallow kick-off. And here comes Gareth Hock. Well, is there yet... there is Terry O'Connor on the sideline. He's done brilliantly well. Is there yet another twist in this match? 3 tackles gone, 1 point no good now. O'Loughlin. This is Gareth Hock. Touch there by Lowe's.
Play on.
Knock on both ways. It'll be a knock on first against Lowe's. So...
well, Wigan, if they've got a set pattern move at the base of the scrum, they've got to use it now.
Still, one more roll of the dice maybe. 38-0, St Helens have beaten Halifax. And in the very last minute of the match, Leeds have beaten Wakefield. And Andrew Duneman drop goal has won the match for Leeds. They stay top of the table. And remember, it was Duneman who won the match at Castleford just the other week when we saw them on the Thursday before Easter. What a signing Duneman has been for Leeds this year.
Well, Wigan were claiming the little chip through. They thought that there was an obstruction. Ian Smith, the referee, said none of it.
Vinocola with the drive forward.
I must say, both wingers, Vinocola and Vinocola, have worked really hard. They've had to. They've had to come off and do a forwards work. They know that their forwards are tired, and they have really put themselves about.
Deacon, back to Lowe's. Under pressure from Gareth Hock. Right, 20 seconds remaining for Wigan. Can they score a long-range try from somewhere? Ainscough.
They've got to kick and chase.
Nowhere to go. Graham, nowhere to go.
It's got to be a kick and chase now, Eddie.
Well, it has, but there are 3 Bradford Bulls waiting for the kick. There's Carney. He's lost the plot.
Down.
That's it. Bradford have won a quite magnificent victory. They took the lead with 2 minutes to go. They have just picked up their 10th straight win in the league and cup this year. They lost on the opening day at St Helens. They have not been beaten since. And Price, with 2 tries in the second half, has won the match for them. But it was an heroic display from each and every one of the Bradford players in the black jerseys. Wigan played their part. It wasn't pretty. It was a battle royal. And Leon Price's second try has won 2 valuable points for the Bulls, bearing in mind that Leeds have also won tonight. They were 6-0 down at half-time. They only led in the last 2 minutes of the match. The man of the match, Terry O'Connor of the Wigan Warriors. He goes home with a Tissot watch, and he's talking to Bill.
Terry, congratulations on your Man of the Match award. Do you think experience told out there?
I don't know, just a tough game. We defended well. Well, our lads have got a lot of experience now. We showed up well against St Helens. But on the end, Bradford were the better team.
But again, a terrific effort from you. You know, players out and the young lads again came in.
The young lads have been doing us proud. Like with players like Faz, and then we just got Radders and Jimmy and scoring a few back tonight. The young lads that have come in have been fantastic for us, and the frightening thing is that they're all 17, 18, and like the future's good for Wigan. So hopefully, like they've learned from experiences like this. Like they've learned from St Helens, and they've learned from today. But at the end of the day, just weren't good enough to come away with the points.
Well, he's understandably disappointed, but consolation.